Hey guys, Sean Little with Air Patrol Tactical. I just wanted to cover today kind of what you get whenever you come and train with me. I had a client come to me recently that he had training from another class, and it was it was a group class. He got the basics out of it, and thought he did well. And he came to me and wanted to do a private lesson. So when he came to me to do the private lesson, I already knew he had some experience, and had some shooting, and kind of knew the basics and most of the fundamentals. So what you get when you come to me is you get marksmanship training. So I strictly pretty much focus on marksmanship because that's the basis of everything. If you can't shoot to the capability of your gun, yes, you can shoot well, but if you can't shoot to the capability of your gun, you never know what the gun is capable of. And you also never figure out what you're capable of. So I just want to use him as an example of what you get whenever you come and shoot with me. So I'm going to have some clips in here of groups that he shot at 100 yards just while we were zeroing, some 3-round groups. He started off in the gun. It was I'll show you the rifle. It was a Masterpiece Arms, a competition rifle that he bought. Very fantastic rifle, great rifles. I've had several of those come through, and they are just extremely accurate rifles, very good rifles. So I'll show you the rifle, and I'll show you some clips of the 100-yard groups that he shot. And with those groups, you'll see how he started, which wasn't bad, and then you'll see how he improved with a little bit of marksmanship coaching. All right, Mr. West's Masterpiece Arms with the Arkin 5-25. This gun shot fantastic today. Show some how he started with the groups and how he finished with the groups, and did really well today. All right, so you can see that his first group is probably just around 1/2 inch at 100 yards. His second group, a little bit worse and probably hovering just under 3/4 inch. And then his last group, after some marksmanship training, really almost put 3 rounds almost into the same hole. We also chronographed his ammunition that he was using, which was Hornady 6.5 Creedmoor, 140 grain ELD match. And it gave pretty good numbers at 10.3 and an average velocity of 2720. So not bad, very reputable numbers. All right, so after he got done shooting those 100-yard groups, we went into 5-round groups. So I do 3 rounds for zeroing, and then I do 5 rounds for group consistency. So 3 rounds, 2 to 3 rounds. If you can do that for your zeroing, we're not wasting a lot of ammunition. We get the rifle zeroed. We work on that consistency and those marksmanship while we're doing the zeroing process. And then we get into 5-round groups. So 5-round groups, I base everything off of percentages. So if you can shoot 5 rounds and you keep 4 out of 5, what's your percentage rate? You're at 80%. You do 5 out of 5, you're at 100%. If you could do 3 out of 5, you're at 60%, right? So the goal is 80% or better. We want 4 out of 5 in a grouping, all right? And being consistent, right? There's a difference between a grouping and being consistent. All right, so once we got into his 5-round groups, you can see right here, this was his very first 5-round group. Okay, and then we went up to the 1 o'clock position, and he shot a very nice 5-round group. He had 3 of them, and 2 of them that he kind of had some movement or had some marksmanship errors, right? He shot this very nice 5-round group and got 4 out of 5, right? So we did just a few. We didn't do a lot. He'd already had some training before, so I didn't want to burn up all of his ammo shooting groups, but that is a very nice 5-round group. We got 4. He got to see from shooting this is well under MOA. The diamonds are about 3/4 inch. So this is well under 1 MOA, right? This is well under 1 MOA. And I'll put up the group sizes because I measured them with the Ballistic X app. So I'll show you guys what those look like. But overall, he did very well. And then once he understood the marksmanship, and then one of the other things that happened was when he was focused on the marksmanship principles that I gave him, he was able to understand and then start calling his own mistakes, right? So the mistakes that he had, like this one right here, he called that mistake. So he was able to start self-diagnosing what he was doing wrong and catch it as he did it, right? And then the other part of that is he'll come back and we'll do another lesson where we work on, when he catches himself doing that, of identifying what it is and then correcting it. The corrective process is very important because we want to reduce those mistakes and then be conscious of them. There's usually only a couple of mistakes that we make. and those happen repeatedly. But if we know what they are, then we can start working on trying to correct those mistakes. And then we become much more consistent. And then we actually start shooting the capability of the gun all the time. And at distance that you start hitting all the small targets, right? So small targets don't become a challenge anymore. A minute of angle target at 400, 500, and 600 yards was very easy for him. He hit it multiple times in a row. I believe I got some video of that I'll throw in there too, but minute of angle targets at 400, 500, and 600 yards. He's able to do the 5 for 5 headshots. I do that. I have a head target at 500 yards. He's able to hit 5 for 5 at 500 yards and then go on and hit all the small targets at 600 yards. Head pack. I hit him again. 2 in a row and it counts. Nice. I started everybody on the big targets, on the big silhouettes, but the silhouettes are easy. Once you shoot the smaller targets, you start shooting the capability of the gun. If you miss a big target, you know something else is wrong. I either didn't dial on my elevation, didn't put any windage in, whatever the case is, the self-diagnosis of if I had decent marksmanship, I'm going to hit that plate. There's no problem with hitting the plate. And it becomes very evident and very aware of what you're doing because now you know what the marksmanship mistakes are and how well you're shooting or how poor you're shooting, right? It could be a day where you're not doing very well or you're just not in your checklist. I kind of call it your shooter's checklist where you go through everything and you're listing out all the things that you're doing. And then your focus is, hey, I make these 2 mistakes. I need to focus on making sure that I do this for each and every shot, right? So a friend of mine, Jay Jones, he has a saying, give every shot the time and attention it deserves, and that definitely applies to precision rifle shooting. So my courses and my private instruction apply to both new shooters and to experienced shooters. So I have a lot of guys that come through. I've had several people that have come through that have gone through really notable courses, but they just did not do very well because they did not understand the fundamentals of marksmanship. So you can go to really high-end courses, and most of the high-end courses are not designed to teach you how to shoot. They're courses. You're going through a shooting course, right? So if you don't understand how to apply marksmanship, you're going to struggle. They can assist you a little bit, but if it's a big class and a high-end class, they don't have, it's about shooting. It's about getting the experience of shooting long range or extreme long range. And they don't spend a lot of time doing marksmanship because the critical factors are windage and understanding ballistics and all those kinds of things, especially when we start shooting longer ranges. But those extended ranges, the reason why extended ranges have become so popular is because the marksmanship has gotten so good. If you go to the right marksmanship instructor and you can shoot to the capability of your system and you can do it consistently, then those distances are easy. I repeatedly hit 12 and 1500 yards with a 308 because I understand what my gun is capable of and I understand what I'm capable of. 308 to 1200 yards, that's fairly easy. 308 to 1500 yards, it's a struggle, but it's very doable. But the marksmanship is what gets you there, and shooting the capability of your system is what gets you there. The other thing also is that you discover what your system is really capable of. A lot of people have guns that they had built or using ammunition that they think is good, or they reload their own ammunition, and so they think they have really good capabilities, and then they discover that they don't. I have very high-end rifles built by GA Precision. They're phenomenal guns, and when they see what my rifle is capable of and what my rifle shoots, and I'll show you some of those pictures. I've got the very first groups that my rifle shot. I've got the latest ones that I've shot doing some load development with the H4895. So I'll show you those groups. But once you see what the capability is, then you understand what your system, your gun, your ammunition, your optic are capable of, and what the flaws in that system is. So that's another thing that helps you with learning the marksmanship is if you're doing all the marksmanship right, you have a gun or ammunition problem or even an optic problem, that becomes very apparent very quickly is that I can get on your rifle, and if I shoot the same thing that you do, if you're not shooting the capability, I won't shoot to the capability either. So we problem solve and get those things resolved for you so that you don't have those issues. I'll do a different video talking about how marksmanship aids in supported positions, just to show you that building stability and concentrating on marksmanship, and then the focus of other things and how that works. So we're going to do a completely different video on supported positions and how marksmanship aids that that capability. Okay, so stand by for that video. We'll be doing that one next, and looking forward to getting you guys' feedback. If you guys got any questions or comments, put them down below, and then you can also hit me up on social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and then I'm here on YouTube. I hope this helps, guys. Till next time, keep a point of aim, point of impact.